Hey guys, what is up? It is Fiji here, and today I'm coming at you guys with a tutorial on how to make a clean 2D header. Something like this. I just made this in like 15 minutes or so it's not that hard to make. And yeah, I think this one I did Black Ops 3 theme, and this next one I'm gonna do probably like a Just Cause 2 theme or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, let's get into it. So what you're gonna want to do first is you're gonna make a new file up here by clicking File New and then selecting this and changing it to 1500 and then the height to 500, not 5000. And you're going to name it, let's say, I'm just going to name it tutorial. And so yeah, you come up open with this most of the time. What you're going to want to do is you see how this layer is locked. You're going to click on that lock and it becomes unlocked, so it's kind of easy. Next step is, see I have the gradient tool. You're going to have this paint bucket tool over here. I had the gradient tool because that's going to be a step in our thing, and I didn't change it back. So you're going to want to hit this and just make it so it's black. The next thing you want to do is you're going to go on Chrome and see I was looking up some of the, and you want to search whatever your game is. In this case, I'm just going to do Just Cause 3, not Just Cause 2. And what you're going to do is you're going to select some photos. This one looks like a decent one, so it's a perfect size too. I'm going to size it down a little bit just because I don't have multiple photos in here. So there's one photo, and you're going to want to get 2 or 3 to 4 photos of your video game or whatever you're going to put in the background of it. So this is a good photo too. It's a little blurry actually. Let's not do that one. And this might take a while. I'm sorry, this is taking a while for me to choose. I'm going to do this bottom one actually. I'm just going to do a 2 just because it's easier. This is a little small. You're going to size it up to this so it doesn't lose that much quality. And then you're going to drag it over here. This one I'm just going to rotate it horizontal so you can have 2 people in it. You don't need to do it, but yeah. So basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to click on this layer 2 or whatever you called it. And you want to hold shift and click layer 1 so both your layers are selected. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to right click on one of the 2, doesn't matter, and then go down to where it says group from layers. What this is going to do is going to make a new group, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this backing, just real quick, and it's going to make it so you can change it and dial it down easier. And you can open it and there's your 2 things. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this over a little bit. Move this over. There you go. And what you're going to want to do is you want to click on this rectangle and like a circle inside a rectangle down here. It's called a layer mask. And so next step you want to do is you want to hold down this gradient tool and up comes, or the paint bucket tool. Dang it, I said that wrong. You want to hold down the paint bucket tool and then click on the gradient tool, which is what I had open before. And you want to click up here. Sometimes it's going to go up to like where it's like white and then it's nothing, but you always going to want to it might have it like black nothing, but if it's like this, you're going to change the color to black. Just if it is like that, I don't know. And then see how it's selected on this layer, so if I do it, it's going to erase the layer. You're going to click here, hold, and you're going to drag it over. So it kind of like fades into the other picture. And it's not going to get all of it by this because it just won't, I don't know. And then once you have it toned down like a little bit, but you can still see the line there, you know, you're going to click your eraser tool, and you're going to want to make it so it's around, let me say, in this case I'm going to 200 and the hardness to 0. Then you're going to want to put the edge of the brush on the edge of this photo and hold shift and just drag along. Just keep dragging, dragging, dragging. In this case, oh, I forgot to turn the opacity up, so I'm going to redo that. I'm just going to Control Z. There you go. And then you're going to want to hold the opacity to 100. I forgot about that. And then you're going to do the same thing. So it kind of blends in. You can do it over here too. Just make it so it kind of blends in with the other photo, I guess. And then you can, once you have it so it looks decent, this one doesn't look amazing. You can just tone it down so it looks kind of like it, you know. It's not like amazing or anything, but I'm actually gonna make this so it's a different color, the backing, just so it matches up better with it. But you don't have to do this. that more. And then I'm going to add a little bit of a blue. There you go. Something like this. And then, yeah, so it kind of works out. And then what you're going to want to do after that, you're going to want to select out of the backing layer and create a new hue and saturation, which is this layer right here. And drag that up above your backing little group. And then you're going to want to right click it and hit create clipping mask. And this makes it so you can change the hue of the certain layer and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to colorize this. And then I'm going to drag hue to 0. Actually, no, I'm going to drag it to 200, just so it's blue. And then drag the saturation to around, let's go 3. Yeah, just so it matches up better. And then the lightness, you're going to drag it down so it's kind of like more of a black. So then you have this nice little black layer of your thing, I guess, I don't know. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a new layer again by layer, new layer. And you're going to want to select the paintbrush, change your color to, I'm going to say yellow, to white, and then change the size to around 1000. And then you're going to have half the brush, or no, I'd say, you can, there's a certain point, see my mouse is up here, once you can click onto the thing right here, you're going to want to click on it. So it creates this nice little light thing, and then you're going to want to make this light a little bigger, just so it, like, I don't know, I guess so it like makes it look better or something. And you're going to put that in the middle of your screen, and you're going to want to change the opacity to around 90. And you can also put this in a group too. I'm actually going to do it, and then call it lighting. You don't have to do it, but. And then the next step you're going to do is you're going to create a new layer again, and you're going to change instead of 1000, you're going to change it down to around 200. And you're just going to want to make some random marks of just white around the banner like this. Just random marks, just so it looks like there's a bunch of like polka dots on your screen or something, I don't know. Until it's like completely covered and you think it looks good. And you're going to select this layer instead of normal to overlay. So you can still see the polka dots here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn the opacity on your eraser brush to 1000 or 220. Jeez, I can't talk. I'm sorry guys, I'm sick if you couldn't tell. My voice is really bad. And you're just going to click on this once or twice just so it kind of turns it down a little bit, and then select the opacity to around 30 or like 25, I think. Yeah, 25 looks good for this one. So you can't really see it, but you get the idea. And then you can close that and stuff. And then the next thing you want to do to make it look more like this is you're going to want to start doing the color. So in this case, I'm going to change it so it's going to be red. Let's go here, just select whatever color you want. I'll make it a little darker than normal while it's saturated. There you go. And you're going to, on the new layer, you're going to hold, oops, that didn't do anything. Yep, I'm on eraser, that's probably why. You want to change the size to around 500 again for the paintbrush. You want to have it half on, half off, kind of like this. You're going to hold this down, hit shift, and then just drag it across twice. So it looks like that, kind of. If that makes any sense. You want to drag it down, and then you want to stretch the top out, kind of, so it just keeps going like this until you kind of get this faded little effect of red on the bottom. I'm going to condense it a little bit. There we go. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to turn the opacity to around 75-ish. In this case, I'm going to put it down to 65. And you can make some adjustments. I'm just going to tone it down a little bit right there. There we go. Something like this. And then with that, you want to make a new layer again and do the same thing you did. So change it to around 200 again. You want to do the same thing you did with the white brush. Just random little dots around the whole entire header, just so you can get this cool looking effect. You're going to click it to overlay. Again, this looks a little different, and then you're going to want to kind of erase it from the bottom, if that makes any sense. Turn it back up to 1000 or 100, excuse me. Just kind of like erase it a little bit from this bottom layer so it doesn't kind of like merge in with it. And you want to turn the opacity down to like, I'd say like 5, 6. In this case, I'm going to put it down to 3, but you get the idea. And yeah, that's basically it for the non-text part, I guess. Minus the little line things right here, which I'll explain later. And so what you're going to want to do is you want to turn on your font, change it to red or white, excuse me. In this case, I'm just going to name it name for this case, just because it's an example. And you're going to want to size this up. So in this case, I'm going to put it at 125-ish. Yeah, it's just so it looks around nice size there. You know what? I'm just going to name it, I'm going to name it tutorial. That doesn't look that good. Let's just name it example. Sample. There you go. And you want to center it, so it's like that. And you're going to double click, right click on this layer, and you want to hit drop shadow. See, I already have mine set up, kind of, but yours is probably going to look something like this. So what you're going to want to do is you want to turn the distance to 5, and you want to make sure this angle's at 90 too. The spread to 5, and the size to around 15-ish, so you can see that there's a little black layer behind this text. The next thing you want to do is you want to click multiply, and you want to change that to 75, the opacity, or around 70. I'm going to say 70 for this one. And that's your drop shadow, so it kind of like separates the text from the back. Next step you want to do is you want to click on gradient overlay, and yours is going to look like this, I think. I don't know how it's going to look. But what you're going to do is, instead of scale at whatever your number here is, you want to change it to around 80, just so it kind of gets more of that black where the lighting comes down on it. And you're going to want to change it the opacity to around 40. No, let's go 25 for this one. Yeah, 25 looks nice. And so you have this nice little gradient thing. Instead of this, just plain white, you're going to have a little bit of a black little thing, I guess, on the bottom of it, so it looks better. Next thing you want to do is you're going to click on inner glow. And for this one, you're going to have it on normal, 100%. And I don't know why I have the size so far up, but you want to turn it on like around 10-ish, so there's like a little white around it. In this case, the text is a little bigger, so I'm going to turn it around 12-ish, so it kind of blends in with it. And instead of 100, you're going to turn it on 75-ish to around 50. In this case, I'm going to put it around right in the middle, so like 65-ish, something around there, just so you can see the white and separates it. And one more thing is, which I normally don't do, I'm going to add an outer glow for this one and turn on 100%, put it up to around the size to like 25, and then the spread to around 5. And you're going to change the color to whatever color you picked, so mine was something around here-ish, yeah, something like that. And actually the size is a little big, so I'm going to change it back to 20. And you're going to want to put it down so there's just like a little bit of glow outside of it, nothing too big. I'm going to put it on overlay for this one because it's a black one. And maybe turn the size a little bit up so you can see there's like a little red mark there. And you're going to want to tone it down enough so you can see it, but you don't want to see it, like, it doesn't want to be overboard. So that looks something nice, something like this. And this is basically how to make a clean 2D header. But if you want to go a little more farther, I guess, with it, is you can also, like with these lines right here, this is something a little extra you can do, is you can use this pen tool right here. You're going to like scroll up to the very top, create new layer, and you're going to want to make a little box thing. It's kind of like this. You don't have to have it even at the top, but just so you have an idea, so make it like a box inside of here. You're going to right click this and create a new selection right here, make selection, and you're going to click OK. And you're going to use this color that you've been using the whole time. You want to drag it down like this. It's kind of like a little box. And you're going to want to deselect this layer, so it's just a big red box kind of thing. And then you're going to want to drag it over to where you want your thing, where you want it to be. In this case, I'm going to have it over here. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do that yet. We're going to make it a little thinner, just because it's a little batty right now. You want to do that, you're going to duplicate it again, and then make it so it's kind of, there's a little space in between. Actually, I can't get that right space in it. So you can zoom in if you need to. something like this. And then I'm going to make it a little more condensed again, like something like this. And then you can rotate these two layers however you'd like to, maybe something like this. I'm going to make it a little smaller just so it looks better with this character. And you're going to want to tone down the opacity to whatever matches with this. So maybe like, oops. In this case, it'll probably match something like 20-ish, just because that's what the bottom is. So, and then what you're going to do is you're going to select these two layers by clicking on this layer and holding Shift again, and you're going to scroll down to Merge Layers. And then you can erase both the layers at once, so I'm not going to do that though. And then you're going to want to make it so it kind of like blends into his back, I guess. If that makes any sense. So it kind of looks like it's going behind him, but it's really not. And I'm going to make this a little smaller for this one, so I can get right here. Oops. Something like this. It kind of looks like it's going behind him, but it's really not. I'm actually going to make this a little smaller for the fingers too. Just a little attention. I normally don't do it with the fingers, but make it so fingers, something like this. So it kind of like goes behind him if you scroll out. Actually, you know what? Let's adjust this a little bit more. It's kind of going to his arm. There we go. So it looks something like this. So it kind of matches up with that. Something like that. I don't know. It's kind of an odd angle, but it's whatever. And you can do it to this side too, but I'm not going to do it in this demonstration. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in some more tutorials and speed arts, etc. And leave a like and subscribe. Peace.